My mic was still muted. Alright, let's build some stuff. So, last time we built this fortress. Maybe my desktop audio is a bit much, is it? So... last time we built this fortress. Right. Audio is fine. Main streets. Main streets. That's where we're gonna start off. So we're building this irrigation ditch first. Well, I finished this system up. And now we're gonna fill out this street first, I think. But knowing myself, there's a good chance it won't take long for me to get, well, distracted and build something different. But what's this? Oh, nice hanger. I want to have some more elevation in the streets because I don't want to make myself it too easy. Oh, whoa, 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 hold it, easy boy. No. I'm a bit rusty on the game. Something like this. Just a little bit more high difference. There's plenty here. Yeah, that makes sense. I need a church. Historically, this church would probably be near the fortress. I changed my cube map. I have to change up the gravel a bit because this looks weird. That is gravel, right? This stuff. Yeah, okay. I think it should be a little bit lighter if I compare it to the rest of the stuff surrounding it. Yeah, something like this. I think this one makes the most sense. Okay. Oh, my asphalt is also way too dark now. I changed themes just now, so pavement? That's pavement. This one could work. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, these are my own. I saw one with some cracks in them, and which one was it? No. Could use that one. Hi John, welcome. Yeah, this looks good. Perfect. Alright. So I also quickly should start adding some kind of harbor that at least some people will start living in the city when I start building. So perhaps I'll need to focus on adding this road towards the coast first. And this part of the coastline is a bit too big, if you ask me. So I'm gonna make it shallower or smaller. Speeding up the game. Wheel crack. Whoa. Up. I'm gonna build a marina down here on the island of. Is this a built-in mode? What do you mean? The playback speed. Because yeah, that's no, that's a mod. I think it's called Play It. Hold on, yeah, Play It. You can get it on the Steam workshops. You can increase the game speed to 300%, so you don't have to wait too long. Which helps when you do terraforming. You like my videos, but you have no idea how to play. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. Well, honestly, I'm not really playing the game neither. I am. I'm using using it more as a simulator, I guess. I think most City Skyline builders do. I mean, of course, this game isn't really meant to be used like this. Nice. Okay. I think I actually never really played the game at all. The way it's supposed to be played. I'm gonna upgrade these roads. I think the asphalt is too dark for yeah, I think the asphalt, the road texture is too dark for oh no, don't touch that one. Oh, Zilt, that already feels like ages ago. Yeah, Zilt was fun. And I will always rotate back to something Dutch. But for now, well, this is Dutch, but this is Caribbean. I'm not entirely sure what my long-term plans are, but with this map. But I just really wanted to like mess around in the game again. This is better. So that's why I'm building this. It's not like a real series or anything. Because I still need to finish up the Dutch East Indies series. Okay, let's see. This is gonna be messy. This is gonna be messy. No, don't do that, please. No. Okay. Yeah, the Indonesian one is also Dutch. Yeah, and this is also Dutch because it's based on a Dutch Caribbean island. I don't know. I like the Dutch theme. Plus, it's my niche. No one else does it, pretty much. I really would love to build something North American someday. To be fair, is this? This is hardly realistic, is it? No, trucks can't drive up there. This is too steep. Let's make a proper corner first. ABC Islands, yeah. Kinda. No, this is actually no. ABC are Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. This is Saint Eustacia. Well, that's where I'm basing it off, inspiring it off, anyways. So you also the ABC Islands are like the lower islands for the coast of South America. You also got the upper islands, the upper Indies, which are Saint Martin, Saba, and Saint Eustatius. Saint Eustatius is right next to Saint Kitts in the Caribbean. North America is easy, but it's hard to get it realistic, if you ask me. But perhaps I also wrote it to the Dutch because, oh, what the hell? Because I know it, because it's familiar. What the hell? Okay, I never used the tool. I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. Hold on. Hold on. Let's yeet some of these trees. I think this road needs to be longer and oh, I can actually look at the real one. I got Google Maps open on a different screen here. Can't show that on screen because it's on a different TV. Okay, they got a real long. Yeah, it's basically on the same spot, so okay. You see I'm instantly struggling because I'm Dutch and we don't have hills or inclines. We got dikes. My advice: we'll build a nice town or city and then delete half of the highways. yeah, or like make some beautiful architecture, especially train stations, and then just blow it up and put a parking lot on top of it. That's it's a Penn Station, right? And Kansas, I think Kansas Station as well. Kansas City Station. I know there's a whole community on in the city skyline, or there's a whole city skyline community always talking about trains. So I kind of can understand their pain now. How's the weather now? Right now, I'm heading over there. Oh, for the Vierdaagse, nice. Today it's rainy, but next week's gonna be nice again. And last week was also very nice. So. Yeah, you have to be lucky with Vierdaagse. I've been there every year, the last couple of years, but this year I won't be there. So where are you from? And which distance are you walking? I assume the 40, by the way. Most people walk 40, but... Oh, you're from the US. Nice. Oh, you went down south. You were done with the big city. Well, Miami is huge as well. I've been to both, but honestly... I think you either hate or love Miami. I don't know. I don't know what I think about it actually. I liked Key West more. I wasn't able to get tickets for the actual march, unfortunately, so I'm probably just going there to the Feesten and then check out some of the cities. Oh, you know you're a bit of a... So, you're quite well known in the Netherlands. Especially if you know all those smaller cities, which are the best. So good on you not going to Amsterdam, but going to the smaller cities because they're way more fun. Yeah, the Vierdaagse feests are awesome. They're really good. Miami's a terrible city. So why did you move there? Work? Love? Want to be a crazy person? That's the whole meme, right? With Miami. I have to go to South Carolina in October. I think that's a bit of the dirty part of the southern states, right? Ik spreek een beetje Nederlands. How did this happen? Why would someone randomly speak Dutch? There's no reason in the world to speak Dutch. Ah, for work, of course. Caroline. That sounds very nice, the Carolines. Yeah, I'm going to a Marine Corps base, so it's probably not the nicest place in South Carolina. I'm a huge fan of the Dutch history and culture. Oh, that's brilliant. So, you want to know something about this fortress I built? Because we recreated the one on Saint Eustacia last time. And I know, were you in the last... Hey Joe, welcome. Are you in North Carolina? Oh, you can, if you want, to DM me or just send me in which city. I can probably have time to head up there. Because I'll probably fly on... I guess I'm going through Washington. Because I really want to see the... What's it? Smithsonian, right? Hey John, but that's super cool. I like that you're... it's very specific for an American to be a fan of Dutch history. Although, of course, there's some Dutch heritage, or some... A lot of American people have heritage in Holland. Or family members, or roots. You could also go to, at least I liked it a lot, was in Middelburg, which is where... I'm going to make the same mistake that I did last live stream. Hold on. There's an American president's family from Middelburg. Nee. Roosevelt. Which one? Shit. Franklin D. Roosevelt is apparently, his family is... Oh, the Roosevelt family is from Zeeland. It's been washed out of history, definitely, yeah. Hi Samuel. Although, I still want to go to Pennsylvania sometime and see what's left of it. Because there's still some really cool Dutch housings and stuff which I really would like to see. Which are preserved. I was in Vermont as well, and there was also still some Dutch stuff to be found. Get nice DC. If you want to go to the museum, make sure you reserve online first. Good. Ah, nice. Thanks, Joe. Will do. People don't even know Cornelius Vanderbilt was from the Bild Utrecht. So where was... although there was another American president with a Dutch name, right? Van Buren, right? There was also president, if I'm not mistaken. Not really one of the known presidents, is it? General style houses in Manhattan? Really? So, the fortress, this one, is on Saint Eustacia, and that was the... So Saint Eustacia was used to smuggle Dutch arms to the... the Americans during the War of Independence. And apparently at some point an American ship came in and the Dutch were the first ones to acknowledge the United States. There's still a plaque on the fortress there. And apparently Roosevelt, which I mentioned last stream as well, also had his family owned parts of this island. So there's a lot of Roosevelt links. Must be quite an influential family then. Oh yeah, Martin van Buren. Sounds like a DJ. Hell yeah. Okay, this road's starting to look better. I always had, played with the idea to build a New Amsterdam kind of themed map. And I know within some Patreon pages and within the community there are plenty of assets available to make older styled Why are they on the road? Damn it. Older styled builds and also sims, but it's hard. If the game would have supported horses, it would be possible. But because of the horses look so stupid in this game, we can't really do it. Well, not justice, right? This incline is a bit rough. Joe, are you at in university in North Carolina? Making a small tutorial. What kind of tutorial, John? On how the game works. Because I think the best way to figure out how the game works is just to do it. It's really just... It's so much to explain. I mean, you're starting off with a base setup to make these kinds of builds, you mean, John? Because I do have collections on the workshop, and because the game isn't supported anymore or not updated anymore, we have it's easier now to set up your game without it being crashing and this stuff. Yeah, you need loads of mods. So you download the game. You need quite a strong PC as well. This PC is well, this one is actually quite old now, but yeah, you need to consider if your computer is up for like lots of... I mean, I have like 6,000 assets loading in when I started the game, and this PC is quite quick. I actually did it on the MacBook for years. It is possible, but you're just very... you get like very bogged down by what your PC can handle and whatnot. But I have collections on the workshop which you can see, or which you can download and use to make to set up your game the way I did. That's not that complicated. The complicated part is figuring all the small stuff out. Because, well, this is risk. I have... How many mods do I have? And I also have a lot of old stuff. This is all the mods I'm running. Every tab is a mod. But you don't need all of them, of course. Oh, if you got a beef PC, it's easy. Can't figure out how to load into a work. Can figure out how to load into a world that doesn't make me deal with the people. You have to explain. Whoa, Joe, that's a lot, man. Yeah, and I work I downloaded everything now, so it's about 20 gigs of RAM. But the game runs way better now when I have everything offline. So before I continue, I'll show you what this is, because this is pretty cool, which I thought was very interesting. I built this like one-on-one from the actual one. So when the Dutch went to this island, there is no fresh water resources on this island. So when they built a fortress, well, when technology advanced, they found out that they could build this kind of water stairs with a basin below, and they would just collect overflowing rainwater and just purify it. So they got these really cool stairs in St. Eustatia. This was actually, the moment this was built was the moment they could live on the island. Which I still think is cool that it's still there. Every game I start, I have to lay down water pipes and build it. Oh yeah, you got mods for that turns that off everything. There are mods that turn off everything. Okay, hold on. Give me a sec. I'll try to give you my mod list. Let's see. Pause screen for a sec. Workshop. First thing you need is Skype. Skype's the most important one. This gives me a second to take a bite of my cookie. Okay, I'm sending you the link. Does this work? So those are all the mods I use. If you download them one by one, install them one by one, starting off with Skype. Skype is a separate program which runs your game. So if you go back to my within that menu, you can see my workshop list, and you also see all my Dutch assets, and I think the Zult maps are also there. Are they? I think they are. Let me see. Yeah, you got all my Zult collections there as well. Those are like my assets, and the mods you first install. And there will be some necessary or tutorial work necessary to find out how exactly what does what. Alright, finally start off Main Street. So I liked this idea, but I'm gonna eat it. I don't like it enough. I said I'm gonna start at the city center, but I can't because I wanted to make a small marina so ships will arrive. And this is how I get distracted every 10 seconds in this game. Every time I think I'm gonna do something, I think, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. But who cares? Yeah, I use really old graphic mods. I'm not sure if I should recommend people using the same graphic mods I use because they're old. But they work, so I never really changed. Funny, for example, there are things I never really got to work in this game. I never built a working cargo harbor. You got to be kidding me. What the hell? Oh, shit. I have to fix this. I'm afraid I have to fix this. As in, can I there's a trick how I can select those, right? I have to get into the menu for public transport or something. Yes, okay. Go away, demon. I remember what the problem was. Because I used this map before. Takes a while for the lines to disappear. Alright, then go back to this one. And then I have to reconnect the ship off. If possible. Hello? Oh, the struggle. Oh, Narde, you should check out. If you like fortresses, definitely go to Narde Vesting. Surprisingly fun city I visited this year was Deventer. Deventer was really nice. Not super special or anything. You're going to Maastricht as well, so. But it was a really nice old town. If you're really... My favorite museum in Holland is the Zuiderzee Museum because it's basically Zilt. It's in Enkhuizen. Oh, I am using the wrong tool. Is it this one then? Oh, yeah. Mistakes are being made here. I'm not sure if I connected it now. But I really enjoyed the Zuiderzee Museum. But that is a bit of a personal preferences. That one did connect. Okay, hold on. Oh, there's your problem. Stuff is doing... Oh no. Please don't be weird. Yeah, it's an openluchtmuseum, yeah. It's super fun. Actually, quite next to Arnhem, you're going to the Vierdaagse. There is a... I think there's also another Dutch openluchtmuseum, which was on my list to visit. I don't know which one it is though. Give me a sec. I must fix this. Woo! Okay, I think this worked. And if we're lucky, that sea route will now be open. Putting me on the spot. What's other places we also have? Something I heard about the harbor assets, the game that will default height above the water. Yeah, exactly. The harbor assets are awful. I mostly use this one because it's smaller as well, so I can hide it below. But it is super shitty. You have visited the Rijks, right? Rijksrijk. I went to the one near Arnhem. Oh yeah, the one in Arnhem, yeah. Yeah, I just like the whole maritime culture of the Netherlands, so that's probably why I really prefer the Zuiderzee Museum. But to be fair, yeah, there are loads of good museums in the Netherlands. It's gonna be busy in summertime, so try to reserve tickets if you can. And I would go to the smaller places. Try to go somewhere you don't think all the tourists go, because it's gonna be busy again with tourists this year. And near the coast, it's all German. Every hotel or camping near the coast is full of Germans. And not there's something wrong with that, but that's they all have their holidays there. So my wife is from Woerden. It's in the more central place in this in the Netherlands. You got Woerden, Oudewater, that area. If you can know how to cycle and like cycling, it's really nice. Yeah, Amsterdam's very disappointing. You've been to Alkmaar, because Alkmaar is really, really nice. That's way nice. You could do Alkmaar and the Zuiderzee in 1.5 days probably. Alkmaar is not big, but it's far nicer city as Amsterdam is. Amsterdam is a disappointment for everyone. It's not only you. It's like super, super bad. And it has been for years. But they are actively trying to ban tourists as well now, because it's a bit of a unlivable city nowadays. I'm not sure if I need water, but I'm gonna put it in anyway. So you got Germans digging holes in your beaches as well? Wow. I'm heading to the Baltics this week. Going to Klaipėda, Riga, Kaunas, all those places. Places I never been. I've been through Lithuania a lot, but not so much in those areas. So looking forward to seeing all the old history there as well. Sprawl is really nice. So how many times have you been in Holland? She said Utrecht. I was in Utrecht on Monday. Utrecht is way nicer, but also becoming busier than I could recall. But in itself, Utrecht is a far nicer place. Three weeks over Christmas. Ah, nice. Hey, we got people walking. Oh, we got we got people. Woo! Finally, it's working. Okay, let's build a governor's house. Something like that. Bro, you went for a good job in Miami with all those travels going on. That's nice, man. That's super nice. Oh, you're flying from Miami to Portugal, right? That's a good start, because that's not that extremely far. Oh, this could be cool as well. No, and the chapel on the hill, actually. Hey, Jolie. I never really considered you lived in the US. Of course you live in the US. I always thought you were living in Taiwan. I'm considering applying visa through... I can't see, there's a hard sign in it. Daft. So, John, I have a nice tip for you. And also if you consider actually moving or something. I don't know, do you have Instagram? Try to search for a guy, and his channel is, or his Instagram is called Tales Legends from Amsterdam, and he makes using AI. He's American actually. This American Friendship Treaty. Oh, nice. I didn't even know that was a way to get a visa. Anyways, try to find a guy, and he's from Phoenix, if I remember correct, and he makes such a cool stories. So he searches the Amsterdam City Archive for stories about well, from way back, like 17th century Amsterdam, and then he uses AIs to tell the stories, and it is super weird to look at it, because there are pictures which, if you look at them, you well, you could be like you could think they've been made like in a studio this year. It's really good. And it's fun because I met him a couple of months ago, and he looks to the Netherlands through the eyes of an American, which I thought was really fun because he sees stuff which I would never see. Like, I mean, I really like the US, like the whole American culture. It's really something I really enjoy, and the whole American dream from the 50s, which never really took off, you know. But American people don't love America often. Well, some do. They're really patriotic, but I think you know what I mean. I look to the US differently from people from the US, and you probably look different to the Netherlands as I do, which is super nice. Looks pretty. Oh, you got him. Nice. Yeah. And if you want to know anything about places to visit, stuff which is nice, or stuff you want to see, you can always just text him. He's like super cool dude. He's super relaxed, and he will tell you. So what would be the nice? I think these maybe here. Oh, I've been living in North Carolina for about a year since I started my graduation study here. Oh, nice. It's very nice. Oh, 5 years. Holy shit. The 5 was hidden. I was really late to the party. I remember playing the game for years, and then actually on one of my deployments I like downloaded City Skylines on my laptop and I played it, and then at some point I noticed a workshop, and then you had a strict toaster on YouTube, and I really got hooked. Early scoping to everyone locked indoors and everything. Yeah, so during the early halfway through COVID, I thought I'm gonna challenge myself again and trying to learn how to do 3D models. That's how it went for me. So that's when I gave myself a week to get my own house into the game. So my first asset on the workshop is my own house. And it's just super shitty if I look at it now, but I did it. And then I knew how to edit or how to build assets. Still quite a good idea to try. Where's your dialect from? Oh, God, I have a really bad dialect probably, but I'm from Rotterdam. But my Dutch dialect, yeah, Rotterdam, it's funny, I moved out of the city during COVID, and my dialect is getting more of the place I live now, and I live in a town called Ridderkerk, which is, well, nothing noteworthy at all. It's like a super simple, more like a suburban town, but they have their own dialect, and I noticed and especially with my wife, I noticed that we're getting that accent a little bit more and more. But when I've been in the US for a couple of months, my English always improves so quickly. I was leaning towards North Brabant. No, Brabant is not my favorite place in the country. Well, no, there's nothing really wrong with Brabant, but I lived in Brabant as well for a while for work. But they're totally different from the people from Rotterdam. Rotterdam is Rotterdam, I think, is best. I think the best way to describe them is more or less like the people from New York is a bit more rough, actually. But there's like this saying, niet lullen maar poetsen in Rotterdam. Like, basically saying like, shut up and do your work. I think this is the best way to describe it. Yeah, that's Rotterdam for you. Drenthe the most unusual, far away to understand. I find Limburg's the hardest one because of the soft G. It's more like Flanders. No, it's not really more like Flanders, but it has a very specific ring to it, which I find very hard. Yeah, it's a very specific way of talking. And I always, when I see people from Limburg, I really need to get used to them. Well, at least to their dialect, of course. The only problem with COVID is that it's blocked me from going home during the second and third year, so I haven't been back in Taiwan since I... Whoa, that's a long time, mate. Oh, that sucks. So that's the first thing you do when you're done with your master thesis. It's your master thesis, right? What you're doing right now. Yeah, for I'm now gonna say something very generalizing about your country, John. And again, I love the US, but for people from the US, it's often hard to describe that where I live closer. So Amsterdam is further away from me than Antwerp in Belgium. And when I drive for 4 hours south, I went to at least 3 or 4 languages and definitely even more dialects, which I find that's the best thing about living in the middle of Europe. So why are you going to the American military base? So I work in the military, and we have our bases in Texas. We have a helicopter training base, so we actually got quite some personnel stationed there, and we do a lot of training with our US partners, like a lot, and especially our Marine Corps, which is like a sister corps to the US Marines. So I often throughout the year have to go to places like Camp Lejeune. We go to 29 Palms in the desert, and it's just for us, because we're such a small country, it's a great opportunity and having large training areas available. And I'm also going in that same trip. I'm going to San Francisco as well to photograph the Dutch Navy ships, which is visiting. And we also got like ships now in Hawaii for the large Navy exercise there. And especially with tensions rising in the Pacific, you see European countries are also looking more towards the Pacific and training with the US. Oh, it's PhD. Jesus, PhD. That's hardcore, man. My Dutch friends couldn't understand my idea of close by, anything with like 3 hours in close to... Yeah, exactly. I had a discussion yesterday that I'm flying to Latvia, but I have to work in Lithuania. And I had this discussion with a colleague, and she was like worried that it was too far of a drive, but it's 2-hour drive, which is nothing if you work in the US quite a lot. I once had to drive from, I think it was Fort Worth to Palmdale, California. That's the longest single drive I ever did in my life, I think, which was super fun. Goed, I went with a .338 normal Magnum minigun with a silencer. I don't think there's a silencer option on those types of weapons anymore, man. The closest is from the East Asian countries like me. One of the culture shocks from the US to me. I don't know, how is that in Asia? In East Asia? I have absolutely no idea how you guys do that. Oh, there is, John. Well, at that point, I don't. If you're using a minigun, I think you want to be heard. It has to be loud. And I used to be a light machine gunner, and one of the reasons we switched back to our heavier machine guns like 7.62 machine guns instead of 5.56 because it was really loud. It's important in a firefight to be loud. Your brother is a weapon manufacturer. That's the most American thing I ever heard. I love it. And he works on miniguns. We're actually going to Lejeune to test out all kinds of new weapon systems and techniques this year, which American manufacturers are will show off. The game speed is apparently really high because that smoke is going up quick. It has no muzzle flash. That's pretty sick, man. That is pretty sick. I do like American gun culture. I don't like gun violence, but I do like. I would love to own, to legally own firearms in the Netherlands, which will never happen. Well, I can if I will be part of a like a gun club, like a range, and I have to get like permits, and you get to like being checked out every year, and it's too much of a hassle. I'm trying to make like some kind of Caribbean style housing. It's complicated. Does Netherlands fully ban personal owned weapons? Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah, it's having legally having firearm is possible in the Netherlands, especially for shooting ranges and that kind of stuff. But even so, it's still quite hard to get that sorted. I don't think you can post links as a viewer in YouTube. Because you said this is his gun, but I can't see anything, and I suspect you posted a link. Oh, he's actually... You were not kidding. He's actually working on miniguns. No, I just googled Dillion Arrow, and that's quite sick. Miniguns are a weird type of weapon because of its... you shoot it with a switch, if I recall correct, which I thought was really weird. It's good times to be a weapon manufacturer now, like with the whole world on fire. I'm trying to find houses which I find suitable, so my apologies for the constant spamming of buildings. Nope. So the Victorian style houses are the most common, I think. He loves his gun. Well, if you want to move to Holland, you probably have to say goodbye to the gun love. It's basically impossible. So about last question about East Asian countries. I mean, Taiwan is a small island country, 85 size Netherlands. So the population is quite high, which makes everyone close to each other. Yeah, that makes sense. We are the most densely populated area where I live in Europe. While I am used to like dense places, but still there are sometimes I am surprised by other places in the world. Like, it is absolutely insane how dense some cities are. So John, what's your daily carry? Out of curiosity. Oh, I like that building. That's nice. I should move the street more. I'm just gonna add like a couple of houses more, and then I think the street is fun. Oh, Glock 38, nice. I have was it 17 Gen 2? Is it Gen 3 for work? Like I think the newest one. So that's Gen 3, right? At least that's my my service weapon, which I love. Glocks are the best. I have a soft spot for the 1911, but if I could carry anything in life, then it would be that one, the Glock. But even bigger East Asian countries, China, Korea, Japan, they're all highly urbanized regions. Most people live in those parts. Yeah. So, for example, we were talking earlier about Amsterdam. Like, loads of people I know from Amsterdam, they all don't have cars. Because in Amsterdam you can do everything by bike or by public transport. And Dutch public transport is, we love to like hate Dutch public transport, but it's really good. It's a bit inconsistent, but people in Holland often seem to forget that it is just a real densely populated country nowadays. Like that sucks, but yeah, it's all traffic, and public transport is really good. But you have to stand and just be crowded. But if you go to like Asian countries, where I've been at least, being boxed in a subway cart is nothing strange. Small handspan really comfortable. Yeah, I'm from Holland, so I'm a giant, like every Dutch person is. These assets are my all-time favorites. These are so pretty. I have to mix them up a little bit though. So perhaps... No, but getting in or out of the Randstad is bad. That's the problem. For some reason, Rotterdam, one of the main highways which accumulate a lot of traffic are like 2-lane highways. So you're often between trucks, and yeah, that can be annoying. But yeah, you're right. Outside of the city, the Randstad is quite okay. Where's the bar in Utrecht? The cellar, and there's a guy who could stand the sun. Oh yeah, that's there are places I have that as well. Funny, when we were looking for houses, one of the houses we liked the most, we didn't buy it because I couldn't stand up straight in the bedroom. Oh, an American talking in centimeters. Wow. I'm 193. It's not even super tall, but that's tall. Yeah, Asia really understand the public transport. I totally agree with that. They really did it better than... well, the US once upon a time was really good at public transport as well. I mean... The country is built on a railroad. railroad. Railroads. That's a hard word. Railroad. Made a big plane literally built by trains. Yeah, right? It would make so much sense to add way more trains to the US. And the thing I love about the US is the large open spaces you have everywhere. I mean, I took a Brightline recently in Florida. It's operated as a less shitty plane, more so than a commuter rail. So Brightline is light rail, or is the like train? Okay, mainstream is filled out. Good. I'm gonna Google it now. Brightline. High speed train. Oh. Oh, that's new for the US. That's good. And that's not sarcastic. I mean, seriously, that's really good that the US, someone is finally at least taking some initiative. Go to security and pre-book tickets. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to the UK in 2 weeks, and I was considering actually taking the new high-speed train. But I probably will take the tunnel or the ferry. I'm not sure yet, but the train is actually so. It's not cheaper than flying, and flying is way cheaper still. But I could bring 2 carry-on bags on the train. And I was supposed to go camping, so that's nice. The UK has loads of trains. And you got was it the Eurostar or something? That's the high-speed one. That goes from the Netherlands to Belgium to the UK. How am I going? I always hated that I need to... How am I going to fix this? I always have not a real clue. No bricks. That's huge. Oh, this is a nice idea. Heater. Oh, yes, I like that. Good. HGS, Small World. I was just about to talk to him. Oh, nice. Well, there's plenty of place for 2 streams. Location by design, by the way, if you're looking into building North America map. John, are you? Do you know the podcast 99% Invisible? It's superb. I always. Hey Andrew, the stream has been going for. I have absolutely no idea. Is it possible to see somewhere? Probably. I'm streaming for an hour. Oh, we're ready. Time flies when you're having fun. I have to take a... Yeah, you go, Andrew. No worries, man. No worries. I started to enjoy streaming a lot, I noticed, so probably will be more streams in the upcoming months. Especially because it is quicker than actually creating a full Zilt episode or anything. No, I still don't have a Discord server. It is on my to-do list. But I'm worried that I have to moderate it and... I don't know, I should do it actually. I'm gonna do it. Cheers, Andrew. You too. I never heard to check out politics and well, there's a problem there. Oh, well, there's a problem. I know that one. Yeah. Yeah, 99% Invisible is like, it is not only, it's like about urban design a lot, but they're of course based in the US, and the podcast host has like the world's best voice ever. But it is really worth listening to, and that's every time I listen to it, I think, oh man, I should make something US based, and I'm sure I will one day. But it's a bit dawning. I think that's the word, right? Daunting. Because people will. I mean, the Dutch stuff I know, and I have absolutely. Well, I don't know enough about the US. This is also one of the first things I built in my life, which is not really specifically based on anything I've visited a lot. Oh, this is also great. What the hell is going on here? Yeet. Pre-car America. Whoa, that would be nice. But again, then we need better horse-drawn carts. Do I have it here? I bought a super cool book about architecture in the US. I don't know where it is. I'm remodeling my my room. Hold up, give me a chance. Give me a break. I think I have it right here. I'm still here. Just looking up for the book. Looking out for the book. Come on, English, yes. Oh, by the way, this is also a good one. I'm not sure what I left. Is this the one? Perhaps? Nope. Super nope. Anyways, I had this really I will show it in another stream. I got a really cool book about American architecture. I found it in a thrift shop, and it's super dope. Oh yeah, and I think I showed it before. This is my favorite, my biggest inspiration for Zilt. It's basically translated Dutch shot from the air. All these photos are also available in super high res online, but it is basically like high res aerial photographs of places in the Netherlands between the wars. And it's super dope. Can't recommend it enough. Do you have a favorite region or time period in American architecture? Ooh, not specifically. I like the no, not specifically really. I like the really nice brownstone buildings in the small town American stuff from I think those are from the 50s, right? No, they were pre-war, definitely pre-war. But also like the mid-century modern. Everyone loves mid-century modern, so it's a bit of cliche to say mid-century modern, but I love myself some mid-century modern. All the old like bungalows in you see in California as well. So I was in Pasadena a couple of years ago, and there was this house which I really enjoyed, which I actually visited. Turned out it was actually a Frank Lloyd Wright house. So that's pretty cool. Talking about LA architecture, do you know? Did you know the like Main Street America? Yeah, that's the one I was referring to. Yeah. You know the rapper Ice Cube? He did like studies in architecture. There's a whole YouTube clip of him talking about architecture, and it really threw me off guard because I grew up with American hip hop, so I didn't expect that from him. But yeah, American Main Street, yeah, I really like it. Also a weird quirk. I mean, I don't know how it was for people in the US, how highly praised they looked at the World Trade Center. But I visited the old one, the one which got destroyed in 9/11. So it always had like this special place for me. It really signified New York, and I love those types of buildings. They're superb. So this was me just saying I have actually seen and visited the original one. But those skyscrapers, I love it. I love old skyscrapers in Chicago as well. Just like the Empire State. There's a guy, I'm gonna link this now, because there's a guy on Twitter making a photo book. Hold on. Of Art Deco skyscrapers. American Art Deco is also superb. Stand by. I need this cover photo. Okay, I'm dropping the header photo. Check this out. Can I link it? Yeah, I can. Oh, perhaps I sent it twice. This is his cover photo, but the guy is making a photo book about skyscrapers. And he makes like excellent drone photos of the tops of American skyscrapers. I'm just browsing it now because it's so fantastic. I shouldn't. I'm streaming. So for me, like in everything stuff I like the most is stuff from pre-war. That goes for the Netherlands. That goes for pretty much everything. I think that's just because I'm getting older. So when you're getting older, I started to be more interested in, for example, very Gothic cathedrals, which I never really had any interest in. I think everything before like 1800 never interested me. Okay, 1800 is too early. 1890. Everything before 1890 didn't really resonated with me. But nowadays I started to find that more and more interesting. So I'm like, for example, when you think about the Roman architecture, I'm starting to look at like, oh, that's actually quite impressive. That's so yeah, that's what age does with you, I guess. John, are you familiar with Amsterdamse School? The architecture, yeah, Dutch post-war is not great. Although I lived in the first flat, which was apartment complex, which was built after the bombing of Rotterdam. It was also called Pax, which of course is Latin for peace. And I think the house was even commissioned by the Germans, the building. And that building was really pretty, but it was already built mostly during the war, so not 100% pre-war. Pre-war is just simple. These kinds of buildings I love. The ones I'm showing on screen right now. Nijmegen has cars running through it, yeah. Nijmegen, I don't think... well, Nijmegen is quite okay, but Arnhem really isn't nice anymore. Arnhem lost most of its charm because of the war, in my opinion. But all the Art Decos and the Gothic skyscrapers are stunning. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I was... so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the YouTuber, streamer, fellow City Skyline creator, Jeremy Thunder. We were talking, he moved from New York to, I think it's called, is it... Hold on, St. Paul? No, I'm doubting. Hold on, what's the... Fuck. No. Hold on. I'm opening maps right now to remember what I was trying to say. But the town he moved to was also something a town I never thought about in the US visiting, but I now want to visit because it looks super nice. It is not Pittsburgh, it's not Richmond, it's not Columbus, not Nash. St. Louis. And St. Louis was way nicer than I expected. Just, if you want to see the pinnacle of American architecture, look up the Memphis, Tennessee Pyramid. Oh god. Memphis. I'm actually, in a couple of years, me and my wife... Oh yes, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh yeah, it's all... Is it a Bass Pro? That's like an outdoor shop, right? Oh, the pyramid, love it. Oh, it's awful. Yeah. Well, you got me. The pyramid. Oh, is this is a thing you Americans all do? Like, oh, hail the pyramid. Oh, this is also going great. Bro. I forgot to make pathways to the... Oh. I'm just... Like, for the people who are, like, watching this stream without... without audio, they're like, Jazz, what the hell are you doing? I remember when Canadian Moose started streaming, I always told him, like, I love your streams, but you never build anything. And now I'm streaming myself, and I never build anything. DC is a ton of historical architecture and an amazing city plan. Baltimore has a lot of historical... Yeah, DC... I really like DC. The thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like a, we would call it a, how would you call it? Like a city for people who work, not a city for people who, this didn't turn out great. Shit, I made a mistake. Not a city for people who live. You know what I'm saying? Probably not, because it sounds really stupid, but... Okay, short focus. Okay. Yes, that's fixed. A commuter city, thank you. Oh, John. I'm gonna send you something. Because the reason I mentioned how I got into 99% Invisible, Belmer is actually a fantastic, very interesting place to mention. Because the Belmer was, well, first of all, it looks like a communist city. 99% Invisible made like an amazing series about it. So it looks almost communist, right? But there's this whole futuristic idea that people would live on towers. The roads were in their first form all risen above the ground, so they were all on viaducts. And below it was all park. So street level, everything was park, which is in essence a very cool idea. The problem is what went wrong with the Belmer. It made it like a very weird, like, desolate place you don't want to spend time in. But the concept behind Belmer is absolutely fascinating, and the way the Belmer has ups and downs, it is very, very interesting. So you have to check out that podcast if you like. I should recommend downloading it and listening to it on the plane when you fly up to Portugal. Communist blocks were not a terrible idea. I'll take. Yeah. No, this didn't work. I agree. I don't think they were a real bad idea, honestly. Actually, well, if you think about it, there's still loads of them left, right? In well, throughout the world, really. So throughout Eastern Europe, Poland. So I guess they actually weren't that bad. No. People need housings, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The system was wrong, but I don't like the communist system didn't really work. But the idea of housing, I agree. And I mean, people talk about American desolate Soviet places, but I've been to Baltimore. And I have seen The Wire as well. There are a lot of desolate places in the US as well. And in Holland as well, by the way. Soviet city planning is generally was fascinating. There was also pretty much designed to allow people to walk whatever. Yeah, so wasn't the town where right next to Chernobyl, Pripyat, that was like the Soviet model town, if I recall correct. So the whole I think that's where they were made the first attempts to make those, well, that idea they had of like the perfect Soviet city. I think Pripyat was actually one of those. So the irony that is one of the places that literally got nuked. Well, not really actually, but you know what I'm saying. Urban sprawl in the US is, I mean, it's pretty shitty, right? Especially with the whole the whole setup of neighborhoods which are all built to be car friendly but not pedestrian friendly, I think that is a really bad thing in the US. I always love traveling to the US, and always there's always some kind of relief going back that I can walk to the supermarket and not be and not have to like take my car. Yeah, I think that's the right description. You like space, but it ruined our country. It is. There is some, well, middle ground between I mean, why do you need like a gigantic lawn for your house in the back if you don't use your garden, or if you don't need it? I mean, large gardens in the neighborhood I live in originated. We have large gardens for. Well, not for an American, but for Dutch people. Because these houses are from the 30s. Actually, mine is from 1913. And those were large. The gardens were large because there was a large vegetable garden. Because people would grow their own vegetable back in those days. Nowadays, those new houses within the Netherlands never have big gardens because you don't need them. It's just waste of space, right? Granted, it's super real, but yeah, I think you know what you mean. There's also I think it's a Canadian or American YouTuber who lives in Amsterdam, who always like hates speech urban sprawl. That he's like taking his bike to work, commutes to work, and then when he's back home in the US or visiting friends and family, he's trying to walk to the nearest grocery store, and there's like no pedestrian paths, or there's like just no way to get there. I always find it hilarious. He's a bit too much into urban, but it's fun. Front lawns are the worst, yeah. And what you see in Holland a lot now is that people are starting to add fake grass. Because it's easier to maintain. Yeah, I think living. I'll go to Joseph from the US. Because John, you live in Florida, and I think Florida is maybe even a tad worse than some other places in the US with urban sprawl, right? Oh yeah, you see F-150s here. F-150s are very popular with contractors and people who have like tiny penises and that stuff. No, just kidding. I love it. I would love to have an old... You know the old F-150, right? Like the really old one, which you could put some plywood in. That one is superb. But that one is like half the size of a modern F-150, so yeah. Funny that so much US people watch this, by the way. Well, you're quite a big country, actually. So maybe that's surprising. I don't think ferns are realistic. I don't think they grow there, actually. They don't. The old one that actually used to have a truck bed. Yeah, that one. Aw. We can fantasize about living in a box like Zilt. Well, sometimes you see those photos how inner cities are destroyed in the US, and it's so okay. I'm gonna give a hot take. One of my favorite cities in the US is Tucson, Arizona. No one ever told you they love Tucson, Arizona, unless it's a snowbird going there for winter. I want a buckfeet. I just had a conversation with my wife about the buckfeets, and that's if she wants one. But being a buckfeet's mom is also a thing here. Anyways, back to Tucson. Tucson is one of the few US cities I regularly visit throughout the years, which has a city center, like a main street where you actually can go for a drink, which is walkable. And those are so rare in the US. Like if I want to go for a drink, I don't want to take like a taxi or an Uber halfway to get to another bar. I just want to walk there. And Tucson is one of the few cities which has that. Which I really enjoy about Tucson. Speaking of, how's the kid? The kid's doing great. Even so great that this week she slept through the night every evening. So I actually suddenly had the surprise that I could do a live stream without being worried. I have to run up to see her every 10 seconds. So yeah, it's brilliant. And also, it's just super fun having a kid. I cannot stress it enough. It's so much fun. It's so weird to see something which is like a bit of a copy of you and your wife. It's hilarious. So thanks for asking, man. Appreciate that. I don't know anything about tropical plants, I notice now. My brother company's based there. Come buy a minigun. So, you know what I also like about Tucson? They tried to make it like a Vegas-like American Dream 50s city. So there you got like the Miracle Mile, which is the best street name ever, which is filled up with all motels, which now, you know, cars on center blocks with their roofs off, and shady truck drivers, and adverts saying like free HBO and that kind of stuff. That's a wow off. Well, don't rush having a kid. I'm 35, so I don't know. I'm happy it took me some time. I first got drunk and traveled a lot. My own stream, pop up later. Yeah, man. When I'm done, sure. Sounds fun. No. I should announce doing streams more. New Orleans is on the top of our list, actually, cities to visit in the US. I also visited Austin last year, which also I really enjoyed, by the way. But it's also very, again, a car-centric city. But New Orleans, yeah. And talking about New Orleans, thanks for that inspiration. I need to add balconies. And have a great stream, man. Oh shit. These are balcony buildings. That's dope. I never saw this asset. Would this work? It could. It got to work. No, not that one. Where I live used to be a 3-story motel. Now it's 200-meter high rise. Oh man. There should be some city within the US at some point, but which just says, pardon my French, fuck it, we're gonna revert it. We're gonna heal again. We're gonna rebuild a walkable city. And I think a little bit of that was in Vermont, Burlington. I think it was called Burlington. which had some of that, actually. Interesting. I can't turn this one into a PO. Saint Augustine. It's one of the oldest cities. I've heard of it, but I don't know where it is actually. Oh, it sucks. Whoever made this asset made it a bit too complicated to use. I'll make my own. Time to PO the shit out of this. Although, perhaps it's not necessary. I'm gonna look it up right now. See, St. Augustine looks really good, but if I look at it, I'm doubting if it's like... I see a real big palace right now, which is probably a hotel. Oh, you got a cool star fortress as well. Is the big fortress-like building, is that a... or like palace building, is that actually old? Or is it... a modern resort? Yeah, Charleston I'm gonna visit in October. Definitely will. The California has some of those good places as well. Not much, but they do have them. Santa Barbara, I think, is a bit old. A bit older. I think Flagstaff was a nice place to visit as well, but thinking now, I can't really remember if I liked it. 1887. Oh, it is old. Oldish. That's nice. That's very un-American, actually. So, the housing on Saint Eustacia kind of looks like those in more like those in New Orleans than they look like Dutch houses. And actually, the Dutch West Indies architecture. Perhaps I can show you guys. I should have done this before. Where's OBS? Okay. Let me try to browser. No. Hey, that's weird. I'm trying to show you guys. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, I haven't set this up. It sucks. Oh, I can do screen capture, right? Display capture. All right. Whoa. Whoa. It didn't work. Never mind. Anyways, if you look at if you look at Suriname, sorry about that. And then Paramaribo. The housing also kind of looks like that. Let's see, have you heard of St. Augustine, very Britain, Northern Sebastian Fort? Yeah. Built Henry Flagler. Oh, Rockefeller with Standard Oil. Yeah. Oh, is that Henry? I think he did the resorts in the swamps, right? I think I once read about him. So the housing I'm going for the build, by the way, are basically based on those in Paramaribo. Or how we say it in Holland, Paramaribo. Which I think is the right way to pronounce it, because it is the actually way we... I don't know why I use an American accent to say a Dutch name, because it's just a Dutch name, right? Anyhow. Oh yeah, that's the same guy. I think the rest is history did a podcast about him. I'm not sure if I like this road. I think I'm gonna replace the road with an actual normal road. I think it makes more sense. Yeah, it makes more sense. Let's speak American, definitely, yeah. Oh, this looks nice. I hope that people won't be offended that it seems that I'm only building Dutch colonies everywhere. What with a low fence? This town is already prettier than actual Saint Eustatius. So my plan is, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is gonna be Saint Eustatius, but then a better version of it. Saint Eustatius is like Florida. It's really, it's there. That's it, it's there. It's not great, it's not awful. There are better tropical places to visit. Well, Saint Eustatius was nicer in real life than I expected, but that doesn't say much. It was still pretty shitty. But I'll just draw inspiration from all West India stuff. Also, what I'm gonna incorporate, which I find a cool idea, where do they Dutch travel to? Number one holiday destination in Holland is France. I think then Germany, Italy, Spain, Italy. And if you have a little bit more money, loads of people go to Curacao or Dutch travel everywhere, really. But people around me, I mean, I worked quite a bit in the Caribbean. My wife worked in the Caribbean, so we like going there. But it's like why would you fly to the other side of the world to sit on the beach? That's a bit of the thing with some of the islands, if you ask me. And for example, Aruba is Dutch, but no one I think the rest of the world don't think it's Dutch. Only we think it's Dutch because it's basically an American. That's, by the way, a perfect example of the Americanification or something they call it of the world. When you go to Aruba, you have like this eastern part is very Dutch. A lot of Dutch live there, and if you go to the western part, you get high rise, they call the area, and that's where all the American tourists go, and that's basically just it could be Florida, it could be like all the places we just mentioned, the standard American beach high rise area. We have beach at home. Yeah, no, I mean, you can fly to Spain, or you can drive to Spain, or you can... I mean, why would you fly to the other side of the world? But when you went there once, you have this virus, I think, that you just... I still find it hilarious that I can go to a tropical island on the other side of the world and people speak Dutch to me, and I can go to a Dutch supermarket, and I always find that just super funny. It's so weird. It's just a weird thing. It just doesn't make sense. That's why I like it. And because this Sint-Eustachia is basically part of the European Union. And that's why Dutch military police is stationed there for the border. And then, will you come back to Kralingenburg yet? You mean Kralingenburg? Klingenburg? Kralingenburg, that save game is long gone, man. We lost that one. Kralingenburg was fun though. It does start to look like a nice little street, right? Hij zit een beetje, ik spreek geen Engels. Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I was younger, it pissed me off that I had to speak English when I was going to like Burger King or something. And nowadays, I just automatically speak English to everyone because I don't expect them to speak Dutch anymore. And frankly, I don't care because I speak English most of the time for work anyways. Hold on. What's the tool? Does this work? I like these interviews a lot. I'm excited for the return. Yeah, definitely they will coming back. Yeah. But because I have played the game for like a couple of months, I decided that I wanted to really first get a feel for it again. So that's when I just, well, on Monday I built this map. Just to give it a try. And honestly, it feels good to be back. So What the hell is going on here? That's not good. So starting, and it's a bit hard because I just had a child. It's hard for me to like start up everything and make a whole YouTube series again. But not to be worried. Zilt is returning, or East Indies is returning. I don't like this ballers, by the way. Maybe I'll just leave this open. I need to build a house here. When I finish this series, there's no more Dutch. I think Dutch territory I haven't covered, unless we're going like full golden age, and I'm gonna do every country in the world pretty much which we ever invaded, but I don't think so. They don't have to be exactly the same. Nope, they do. Oh yeah, I was wondering. Can try to like maybe add some fun road decal to it. Nah. Nope. I want to add those cobblestone decals, really. But perhaps, is that something people do with the... like this one, right? And then decal, cobble, I think at the 60 meters. No. Hey, cheese time. Hey, it's cheese time. I always thought it was cheese time. No, it's based on Saint Eustacia, but it is Dutch Caribbean, yeah. No, I'm not starting a whole new series again. This is just for messing around and stream and that stuff, right? How do I lower it? No. Sorry. Okay, you can lower... is it slow tolerance? No. I did this before, come on. No, that's shift. You can lower it, right? Chat, help me out. I'm struggling here. can't remember, this sucks. Okay, so that didn't work. Dutch Antilles. Yeah, it's I guess no one did it before. I always thought I'd do a Curacao one day, but Curacao is just a bit too messy. Does anyone know how to lower these? Because I really forgot. Oh, I can also just make them smaller. Maybe that's the way to go. Should I do it like this? Or should I go full? Ah. Okay. Perfect. Copy this. Paste it here. Yes. Yes. Paste it here. No. Yes. Paste it here. Okay, paste it here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove these. I like these roads, but I don't love them. Then I'd rather have like actual dirt roads here. Nice. I also have to throw in some parking spots. Oh yeah, you can park on the dirt road, so. Alright, that's nice. It's quite a decent... Oh, no one told me. I have to save. Hey, why is it new save? That's weird. Right. Where were we? That's gonna be the main shop. And perhaps I do like this building here. Don't really love this one here. Perhaps I should just bring the shop to the city center. This incline is also a bit too much. I need to get some guardrail props. Whoa. Guess I'll put this one up here. And then we'll make it like a parking lot right behind it. Luzka Mislav Bar. Hi all again. Welcome back. Oh, it is Luxa. Luxa. It's a complex name for me. This is not good. Parking. can also just use an asset for it. It's a bit bright, but yeah, that makes sense. Perfect. It almost feels a bit more arcadey playing now. I'm not yet working on those heavy details. Which I will, but not yet. Let me check out some inspiration for a sec. Okay. I just had a big ass fence. It really messes with my mind that I see modern cars driving by, because I did a little bit of modern Zilt at some point, but I never really did a modern series, of course. So for me, it's every time I see modern cars, I'm like, huh? And then I think it's a mistake, but of course it isn't. Honestly, I shouldn't build too much fences because I don't think they're super realistic for the Caribbean, because it's always windy. So I should make more brick walls. It also goes for this one, although I liked it. I don't think people would build a brick fence on the coast because it wouldn't survive anything. Where does the storm drain start? Yeah, so I have to figure out some place where it comes from. But so in Statia, it's really just the how do you call them? The gutters who end up in the storm drain, and then they go wider, 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 and then they go down. And before you went stream, this is a water basin they built back in the, I don't know, golden age, 15th, 16th century. There was no fresh water on the island, so they built this basin where the water would fall down to, and it would end up in this big thing, and they would have fresh water. And that's the moment the island got inhabited. But you're right, this... Why is there someone walking there? There should be some place where this is coming from. So perhaps what I could do, which might be nice, if I take this one, and we make it here. Okay, it's a bit too much, but Well, I don't even think it needs to be a river. It's just for heavy flooding. For heavy rainfall. I think that's also why it is there in real life. Just to make sure the streets aren't getting swept away or anything. But this actually kind of makes sense, that the heavy water would come from here. And then with the storm drain it bypasses the buildings. Kind of makes sense. I don't know, I'm just thinking. I have no idea what I'm doing actually. Yeah, so the idea is that it goes in here and it goes out here. That like later on they put it below the city. Blessed the path. I think this does make some sense, right? And if it doesn't, who cares? It kinda... In the actual one, I have Google Maps open right now on the screen right next to the chat, and I see where it starts. It's really tiny. Yeah, that one is way smaller. And it just goes to like the city gutters. I do have these. It's Saint Eustatius, Oranjestad, Orange City. So go on maps, search Saint Kitts or Saint Martin, and it's one of the small islands in between. And if you're looking for the Google Maps photos are awful, by the way. Apple Maps was a bit better. And if you're looking for the specific photos I'm talking about, or the place, it is right in front of the entrance of the fortress. But again, the photos are super shitty. Why they own this island? Well, I think the main product which came from the island was sugarcane, so sugar reeds. So it's probably sugar. And I think sugar, or it is a strategic place. That could also be, I'm not sure. It is in the line with Saba and Saint Eustacia. There's also a very interesting thing about it. At some point, I'm not entirely sure when, the British invaded it. And I think it's one of the first examples of ethnic cleansing, that the British general or admiral who invaded the island specifically targeted all the Jews who were living there and murdered them. There was apparently quite a sizable Jewish population on the island, but we're talking way back. But there's also still a Jewish cemetery, I think, on the island as well, if I recall correct. A random fact for you there. Tobacco and sugar, yeah, that makes sense. I think most of those islands in those areas were right. Tobacco and sugar. I was at Guadeloupe 2 years ago. It's all the same. It's all sugarcanes. Nowadays there's not much out there on Statia. Some scuba divers, probably some offshore. Late 1700s, early 1800s, yeah. It's even weirder that it stayed in Dutch possession so long. But that's with all the Caribbean islands pretty much. Because this is definitely the least looked after Dutch overseas territory. Even Saba has more of an interest in Dutch culture because of the diving, I guess. And it's an important reef. But no one really cares that much about this island. I know a lot of people went there, I think, during the pandemic because there were no rules. I think there are like 3,000 people there. So I told in last live stream, I was on the island during a hurricane last year. And well, everyone who was out there was either living there, working there, and we were such a small group. But the fun thing, and we're gonna rebuild that definitely, everyone was at the same, well, not everyone, but loads of people were on the same bar on the corner of the town. It's Cool Corner, I think it was called, the bar. And yeah, just sit out the hurricane. Well, not when it arrived. When it arrived, I was like locked down in a hotel room with iron plates for my windows, but the Netherlands was mainly safari. I don't know actually. I honestly don't know. But that would make sense if you maybe a bit too much palms. If you consider all these islands were, well, going back and forth between all kinds of nations. So if they were from the Iberian Peninsula, yeah, it could be. I'm not sure if it's ever was a Spanish possession though. Most profitable transit point, really? Oh, yeah, slaves. Yeah, probably because of the. It's quite central, right? Within the trade winds. And then after this, was Saint Martin was always disputed with the French. It still is. One day we will recapture it. And the because that's actually an interesting thing that we border French officially as a country because of Saint Martin. But Sint Eustatius and Saba, they were like, after that it's the Atlantic, and it's towards the Azores and towards Europe, right? While the other 3 islands in the south are probably more plantation, I said plantation oriented. And of course Suriname used to be Dutch as well, so. Okay. I think there were also quite some pirates on this island for a while. It felt like a pirate island. Oh, did you? I didn't even saw the Oost. I'm always like a bit cringed about Dutch movies. I was planning to call my YouTube series The Oost, but then the movie came out. So I work in the military, and when we talk about Curacao, we talk about the West. Always. Nowadays still. That never changed. And back when the Dutch East Indies still existed, they probably would be they would have talked about the East. So when we talk this year, a Dutch ship went to Indonesia, and the way people talk about it in my work is a ship is going to the East, and with the East we mean Indonesia, which is I don't know, it's. With the East, it's kind of a bit more complicated, I guess. There's also a really good documentary about a Dutch man. You can watch it on the internet. About a Dutch man. His father was the general who guided the anti-politionele acties, or the politionele acties in the East. And he revisits lots of people and places where his father lived and worked, and it's also very much focused on all the atrocities. Are you now part of the German military? No. Oh shit, you looked a long time for that island. Yeah, you better look for drone footage on the internet or something. Yeah, it's tiny. I remember going there for the first time, and I was trying to figure out how it looked, and I couldn't. It didn't look anything like what I saw on the on maps. But no, we're not part of the German military, John. Pardon me. Getting late. There are some units which are incorporated together, but yeah, we got a joint command. So in case of war, parts of our army is brought under the German military, but the other way around as well. The German Seebataillon is like their Marines will be part of the Dutch Marines, but all the countries in Europe have these kinds of coalitions. For example, when war would break out, the Belgian Navy would be under Dutch command. So in the Dutch Admiralty will be in charge, and I think we have some coalitions with the French as well, which are fairly similar in this occasion. But it mostly has to do with with that one army group, which is incorporated with the Germans. Yeah. But we definitely very much identify ourselves as very Dutch, because we still are not really super fond on everything our eastern neighbors do. But like we always used to say at home, don't mention the war. No, I'm Koninklijke Marina actually. I used to work in the army, so in the Landmacht, but now I work in the Navy. But I work in a supporting unit. I am a so-called combat camera photographer. So my job, I work for all the branches, not only Army, or not only Air Force, or not only Navy. I work for everyone. I'm in, let's call it a supporting unit, and I get attached to other units. So I'm going to Lithuania, for example, and then I'll visit a army unit which are stationed there. And when I go to the US, I can be attached to the Marines. So it's a very specific job, especially since I wear a uniform, a weapon, and a camera. So I'm not, like we say, like our American partners say, rifleman first, and then whatever you are next. So I'm both a soldier and a photographer. Yeah, I have a really cool job. I don't like to brag about it too much, but I really have a really cool job. And I travel a lot. Yeah, but I'm also still trained in film photography as well. But yeah, for work, I have to shoot digital, of course. Otherwise, it will be very complicated when I do like press things, which has to go. So you can, for example, in what was last year, right? Just before my wedding, the civil war broke out in Sudan, and we had to evacuate our Dutch citizens there. And you can't bring, or you don't want to bring, like a journalist with you. You can, but you have to guarantee their safety as well. So then I join, and I'll take the pictures, and the newspapers and those people can use my pictures. Should our Navy use those for? We used Nikon F3s in our Navy, but the F1s are really cool. Yeah. I think I have one as well somewhere in a box. I used to collect so much cameras, and now the only thing they do now is collect dust. Oh God, how am I going to? That will do. So your journalist was okay to getting shot at? Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Well, I'm not okay being shot at, but I'm okay. Like, I'm okay with the danger and shooting back. I don't think people will all have these nice fences in those countries, or in Stasia. In Stasia, we made a joke that every person has 2 cars, because literally, and I'm not exaggerating, literally every house I saw had a old car in their front yard. And we thought it was perhaps maybe like something with status or something, but everyone has like an old car in his front yard without wheels and just rusting away. I haven't seen a new American Civil War movie yet. I do want to see it. I heard very mixed responses, but I saw the plot, yeah. I also really like the concept. Not saying it's gonna happen, but it's something it felt, the last couple of years felt like it could have had. Crazy polarization in the US. There was this movie back in the days, which has the... So the title of the movie sounds like a porn. It is on YouTube actually. The film movie available. It's called The Bang Bang Club. It's about the time when apartheid was... how do you say it? Apartheid was stopped in within South Africa. And there was this group of photographers who like hit front cover of every newspaper in the world, like a group of 4 guys, and one of them even won. I think 2 of them won a Pulitzer for it as well. It's absolutely fantastic movie, and it was like, if you like photojournalism, it's like so inspiring. It's a shame it's never really hit mainstream or anything. Plus, the title doesn't really work, but that's how they called themselves. I'm also gonna stop soon because I am getting tired and I have to go to work tomorrow to get shot at and be okay with it, right? I have to get better at adding vegetation and color. When you build Dutch stuff, it's all very dull and there's no color and it is not exciting. And when you build Caribbean stuff, it's wild and big, and I should add way more things. One of my friends' older brother served the Dutch in Afghanistan. There's a group, wild group of people. Where they? I served in Afghanistan as well, twice actually. And yeah, it's always, the American army is so gigantic, because it doesn't matter where I serve worldwide. There's always, America's always there. It's like our big brother, right? But we do have very strong ties with the U.S. Army throughout the world. Look for my palm trees, which I mostly use. Oh, there they are. Are these vanilla? They are not vanilla, right? No. Bentley Psychopath for bullets. What a weird sentence. That does sounds like something that could have been said in the Dutch military, yeah. Although military culture in Holland is mostly, well, not there. At least not in the civil world. Not like in the US. awful food. We have wonderful food. What's wrong with our food? I think that's the worst thing an American person ever said to me. I mean, we are not like very high cuisine like the French are, or I don't know. But compared to US kitchens. So when we are deploying, I always like, I like going to the decaf, the American cafeteria sometimes, but although the new MRIs are pretty good from the US, not gonna lie. There's also a folded pizza in there. Well, this is quite a nice start. We got Old Town figured out, I guess. Of course, have to add loads of more details, but I consider it a win. I'm gonna actually like fluff it up with, hold on, hold. We can remove them later when we build again. I did more than I expected from this build, so that's good. See, that looks nice. The next series, for the next series I'm going, I'm first going to finish up the Dutch East Indies, because there's going to be a season 2. I'm still have quite some. Hold up, I can show you. I know I can show you guys that. Hold on. Let me save this game for a sec. I know I just did, but I'm saving it again. Because I think I have a photo of it available. I hope you guys can see this now. I think you can. But there's an overview from my Dutch East Indies series, and there's just so much space still left. For example, in the right corner below, here's the island as well. I have to build a whole neighborhood on top of that hill. Harbor area needs to be done. If you look closely, I also built a little bit more Old Town. I still have a harbor part to finish up. This area needs a whole new neighborhood, or more slums basically. This whole bay I haven't touched, and I want to add like a small grass airfield right here, based on that and Andir. So yeah, plenty of stuff to do on this this build still before I move on to the next project. And I honestly don't know what my next project will be. Actually, that's a good question. Perhaps something North America for once, I'm not sure. I'm also quite eager to do something Dutch again. I don't know why, and always getting back to Dutch. Perhaps something Dutch modern and not something set in 1936. But yeah, we will see. I was, well, thinking that by this point I would have been switched to CS2 right now, but that doesn't seem to be ready yet, or anything near ready yet to be to do so. Both were Netherlands if they independently took over all of Europe. Whoa. I know there has somewhere ever once upon a time tried to build Germania, the German capital, if they would have won, like Hitler's dream. Because there are assets. I've seen screenshots of assets of it. But no, I won't do that. At least I don't think I will. But the alternative timeline would be fun. that's basically what I'm doing with this live stream series as well, because I'm gonna build like the Saint Eustatia, I think. I don't know. But then good. So I'm considering making it very high-tech, modern, something cool, right? At Germania, I was kind of sick, not gonna lie. Yeah. The big model was pretty fucking sick, I have to admit. But maybe I'll do New Amsterdam. But then, like, if it stayed Dutch, that would also be a cool alternative history thing. But no, I'm not sure. I don't know. I have to think about it. But for now, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for hanging out with me. 2.5 hours. I did a longer stream than I expected. It was actually quite fun. It was super fun. And I did more than I expected. But judging from what we have in game here, I could have done more. But there's no hurry. And it's a... if you've been there, it does this part actually really resembles it. But well, you guys never seen the map, by the way. There is a giant volcano. Which gives opportunities for cool things. And the airport... Oh, sorry about that. It's gonna be straight here. And I want to be big enough to have a 737 land there, so... Würzburg. After the war, it is detailed. Hold on, what's Würzburg? I googled Würzburg today. I'm sure I did. Yeah, but that's Germany. I don't do Germany. I only do Holland. Dutch stuff. If anything else, I would consider doing North America. But Titan is your man for German stuff. Definitely. Anyways, guys, that's with it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for watching and spending your night with me. And I hope to see you guys in the next stream. John, have a great holiday in every country you're gonna visit. Portugal, Spain, Netherlands. And if you need any advice, just hit me up on Twitter, or maybe I'll make a Discord sometime. The joke was, oh Jesus, it was low to the ground. Gotcha. I wasn't aware, honestly, but every German city pretty much was low to the ground. If you're ever in Germany and you need advice for a good city, go to Heidelberg. That's the only one which they forgot to bomb. That was it. That was where I ended up. That was my last speech.